Hi, welcome to the first in a 5-part series on the human animal. This is really great stuff. Tonight we're doing male answering syndrome. Now this is the condition wherein men have opinions about things they know absolutely nothing about. Until now, theory only. Over the last 17 years we've come to find out that this is far more prevalent in the male gender than we ever thought before. So what we did was we sent our researcher, Kraemer, out
said that
to visit males. 3 males actually in their natural habitats.
versus cosmetics versus marketability. These are the kinds of things I think about.
Now the goal of our research was to determine the behavior and phraseology of the syndrome, and we did that through asking a series of scientifically, strategically designed questions, all similar in nature, from one male to the other.
What is the capital of Venezuela and why is it important in history?
Well, 14 years ago, there was a really famous treaty that brought together the countries of Germany and Singapore. So now they're known as either, depending if you're German, it's Deutschepor, or if you're, from Singapore, it's Singery.
That's funny. The capital is it starts with an M. Mariaville, and it started. Let's see if I recall. There was a battle down there between the Spaniards and the Incas.
Caracas, Venezuela, the capital of that, has been an interesting focal point for the journey to the New World. The Phoenicians, who actually, and a lot of people don't know this, actually discovered the New World.
And frankly, it's a syndrome that's fairly difficult to spot because it manifests itself very differently in different males. Okay, there are some common bonds. There are some ways you know when you're spotting it. First one, you ask a man a question that there is no answer to, but he will never utter the words, "I don't know."
I don't know why so many people don't know that, because I do. It happens to be Father's Day actually is not a tradition. It is in fact a conspiracy. I'm not actually sure I should be telling you this because I may not be at liberty, but Father's Day conspiracy, or as I like to call it, Father's Day Gate, was actually a pre-Hoover FBI scam to cover up an invasion of India. It was a distraction, simply a distraction that the American people would focus on to take away from a secret invasion of India.
And males actually perceive questions instead of invitations to give you a little piece of information as, the opportunity to tell you way more about their life or expound on theories they've got and problems they're dealing with. Actually, I guess you could say that really, no matter what question you ask a man, he hears it as, "Tell me a little bit about your life, Bob."
What is the origin of Father's Day?
That's I'm a dad myself, so I kind of know a lot about that. But it started in upstate New York in the late 1880s. It was actually by a group of mothers who started it because they, it was just kind of this mother thing, wanting to honor their husbands and fathers. And so it started in upstate New York. It's just kind of a small holiday. It started spreading and it hit New York City. And then, consumerism just really caught on with it that, once it hit New York, it just kind of became this popular trend. And by the 20s for sure, it was nationwide.
Now, of course, this phenomenon has been going on since caveman times. Men used to throw rocks at woolly mammoths. They were tough times. They knew a lot about them, but they were tough times. Men would take on the wild animals with their bare hands. Times have changed. Men get pedicures. Men wear silk. Now they come up with theories about football.
How would Socrates describe football?
Socrates That's interesting. You should ask about Socrates. He's one of my personal heroes. But he would describe football today as a game that was a test of the moral virtues between one group of men and another. As you know, he didn't pay much attention to women, and they weren't a very important part of Athenian society for Socrates. But men needed to not only battle one another, but they needed opportunities to pat each other on the butt.
So how do you know when you're actually seeing male answering syndrome in the wild? Okay, it's pretty simple. You ask a male a question, and you get way more answer than you thought you were going to.
And silk out of this, like the outfit you're wearing, both the color minutia red and the properties that are important don't actually come from moths. They come from these flowers.
What is minutia red?
It's in between violet and burgundy. It was coined by a person, Count von Minutia.
Oh.
Related to the Hallmark book.
Oh.
We thought it was important to include some questions in our study that were unanswerable, and the reason we did that was because we thought maybe men are just that smart. Maybe they've just really got the answers. So we thought, okay, we'll just put questions into the study that have no answers. That shows you we were wrong about that too.